In this video, I'm setting aside the Copics and trying something new. I'm going to be creating an artwork using tea. Where I live, in Australia, it's currently winter, which means it's cold and rather miserable. It's raining at the moment actually. So what I enjoy on days like this is to stay inside, keep warm, and have a nice hot drink. And my love for tea and coffee inspired this video. I'm also going to be reading a horror story in just a moment. But first, let's get everything ready and see what we're working with. Here we have Lipton English breakfast. A rich and robust flavour. Say hello to the mornings and awaken your senses. Sounds tantalising. I'm going to be trying out some new paper for this artwork. Unfortunately, I don't have any watercolour paper, which would be ideal for this, so I'm going to be trying a new marker paper, which is a bit thicker than the regular paper I use for my Copic drawings. I'm hoping this will get the job done. So I went upstairs to make the tea, and then I saw something. Coffee. I decided to use both tea and coffee for this artwork. I was really holding that in. I was busting. I'm joking, you sicko. Maybe in the next art challenge. Drawing with piss. Get teabagged. Goddamn, watch your language. This is serious. We're having a cup of tea and we're keeping it respectful, alright? This is the classiest art channel around. I'm even drinking an English tea as I'm narrating this. And I'm sticking my little pinky out. That's how classy I'm getting here, okay? So none of that profanity, keeping it classy. So I'm just doing some tests here to see what kind of tones I can get. And apparently, the paintbrush which I was using, I didn't clean it very well, and that's why the tea turned out really red. I was freaked out at first. I'm like, damn, that's really red. That's some freaky tea. Then I tried a new brush, and it was more like regular tea. But you know, we can get some different tones here with the coffee, get some darker tones, lighter tones for the tea, so that gives me some options. For the line work, I decided to use some sepia and brown Copics to keep it in the theme with the tea and coffee, not just a harsh black outline. So I've done a sketch, and the sketch kind of fits in with the story I'm about to read to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. Put your headphones in, relax, and let's read a creepy story. Like and subscribe. Something horrible is happening to me on Facebook. I don't know much about Facebook. I started an account late last year to promote my website, but not much happened. I plugged my Facebook address pretty much everywhere I went, and 12 fans trickled in, and 1 or 2 even shared some of the content I posted. My page wasn't growing nearly as quickly as I'd hoped. Fast forward a couple of months, same problem. In total, I think my page was stuck around 100 likes. The majority of those were from the first week I started the page, and a bunch of nice Reddit users felt sympathy for me and visited, clicked like, and never came again. I can't blame them, to be honest. I was in a creative rut. Very little new content was coming out, and whatever did reach completion was nothing but a rehash of older, more popular stories I've done in the past. I was hoping to piggyback off their success. It didn't work. It was obvious that interest was waning. All this was coming at a bad time. My Tumblr, which had done extremely well for the first 4 months of its existence, was also stagnating. Followers were disappearing. Again, I can't blame them. Why follow a blog that just reposts older stories without putting anything out that's new or interesting? I'd reached a point where I was starting to think writing wasn't for me, and I'd have to rethink everything I'd envisioned for my future. Out of nowhere, sometime in April, I got a notification on Facebook that my page had been mentioned. I clicked through, and was astonished to find out that a page with nearly 10 million fans had posted one of my older stories, and had credited my own Facebook page as the content creator. Messages and likes came in droves, friend requests too. I didn't know what to do with all the newfound interest in my work. My creativity hadn't been piqued by it all, but my enthusiasm had re-emerged. I chatted with people who messaged me. I gave advice to aspiring writers, despite not really believing any of what I was saying, and I even agreed to collaborate with another semi-well-known author on a piece at some point in the fall. As April progressed, more and more people were visiting my page and inhaling my old content. Each day I'd spend hours replying to notifications and messages, sometimes holding 10 real-time conversations at once. It felt good to be connecting with people again. It's something I hadn't really done at all since high school, and that was almost 20 years ago. I grew close with a few of the people who'd been messaging me. People from all over the world, in fact. We chatted about nothing and everything, to use a cliche that I despise, but find impossible to avoid. The more we talked, the closer we got. There were about 25 people out of the hundreds who I really felt a connection with. I think it was mutual too. We chatted together on Facebook, and we started doing group emails. In May, Charles, one of the 25, suggested a meetup. Obviously, for some of them, it was impossible. Quite a few were way too far away for that to be possible for them, but 8 or 9 of us were all within 300 miles of one another. After working through some logistical issues, we made it happen. 7 people showed up. I got to meet 7 wonderful people. Charles, Lynn, Malcolm, Anita, Bev, Melly, and Raj. We met up at a small restaurant in the Tribeca area of NYC. We chatted and laughed, and all had an all-around fantastic time. I enjoyed myself, and my new friends more than I can even express. But it was Bev who really stood out. We'd grown close online, but I never had any hope of getting much closer than that. It all changed when we met. While we all shared stories and jokes and beers around the table, Bev and I held hands. She squeezed my fingers with her own, and I stroked her wrist and toyed with her bracelet. During the brief glances we shared with one another, we both knew something special was happening. When it was obvious the night was coming to an end, and everyone had headed back to their respective hotel rooms or homes, Bev and I remained together. We headed back to her hotel room and let things take their natural course. It was truly wonderful. After it all was over, Bev got up from the bed to take a shower. I propped myself up with my laptop on my lap, happily reminiscing about the time not only she and I had spent together, but the time all 8 of us had shared hours earlier. I decided to go on Facebook and leave individual messages for my new friends to show how much I appreciated them. While clicking through where I needed to go, I realised I'd never even visited their pages before. We'd all just chatted either on my page or through email. I clicked on Malcolm's first. It was weird. A lot of his friends had posted some pretty depressing emo stuff on his wall. I wrote my little thank you paragraph and then headed over to Charles's page. Same thing, just sad stuff. I wrote my letter and moved on. Lynn, Raj, and Mellies were the same. A strange feeling started inside my chest and gradually bloomed outwards while goosebumps pricked my limbs. I clicked on Anita's wall. More depressing messages. One in particular caught my eye. We'll always love you, Anita. You will always be our beautiful, sweet daughter. It was from her parents, dated 2011. The feeling of discomfort and dread intensified. I went back to all the other pages I'd just been to and scrolled down. All the depressing messages were from between 2009 and 2016. They all had something in common. They were saying some variant of goodbye. Doing my best to control my breathing, I navigated to the one page I hadn't visited yet. Bev's. The message on her wall, dated February 2nd, 2016. God bless you and keep you. You were taken from us far too soon, sweet girl. A loud thud sounded from the bathroom, causing me to jump. I got up, quietly asking, Bev? Bev, are you okay? No response. I walked slowly towards the bathroom, a sense of doom weighing down my body. I knocked on the door. No reply. Just the sound of water running. I turned the doorknob and entered the bathroom. The room was steamy and warm with an intense, unpleasant odour. Bev? I asked, my head starting to spin with fear. I gripped the shower curtain between my thumb and forefinger and carefully pulled it open. I screamed. Hot water streamed down the remains of a bloated, rotting corpse. Stringy blonde hair was plastered to the sides of a grey face, with a purple tongue bulging through the lips that looked like dark green banana slugs. Greyish yellow slime drooled from between her legs and puddled thickly near the drain. Before I could turn away and throw up, I saw the bracelet on her wrist that I'd been playing with at the restaurant. I heaved and retched into the toilet, trying to tell myself this was all impossible, and Bev was still alive and normal, and everything was okay. I closed my eyes and turned around to face the tub. I made the sign of the cross, opened my eyes, and nearly fainted with relief. The bathtub was empty. I inhaled. The smell, for the most part, was gone. I sank to the floor and tried to collect myself. The horror I'd felt was replaced with an immediate concern for my own mental health. I didn't know if I should call 911 right away, or go to the hospital first thing in the morning and get checked out. I dragged myself to my feet and headed towards the bathroom to lie down for a few minutes. As I was crossing between the rooms, I glanced in the garbage can next to the sink. My used condom sat inside like a deflated grub, covered in greyish yellow slime. Thank you for watching the video, especially if you stuck around till the end. You're the people who keep my channel alive, so I really appreciate it if you subscribe or leave a comment or a thumbs up. All that stuff helps keep my channel from disappearing into the void that is YouTube. So thank you, and I'll be back next week with another drawing video. I'll see you then.